So the PGWP-eligible programs at Lakeland College that are very popular amongst international students.
Students or immigration applications having these kind of qualifications and having work experience of these kind of fields have reasonably smoother way towards their immigration.
Absolutely. Especially in the province of Alberta and government, the governments are supporting these programs. The teachers know students by names and they can easily tell if a student is missing classes, few days in a row. And that has happened where our teachers have actually left the classroom, went to the dorms, the residents, because they knew that the student is living in on-campus housing.
Now, when we have talked about the programs and the kind of support that Lakeland College offers to international students, how about the tuition fees? How do you look at the part-time job opportunities available to international students? Because that is one of the prime aspects. Any piece of advice that you would like to give to the parents who are planning to send their children to Canada?
I always suggest parents to,
Namaste and welcome to Global Dreamcast, a podcast for global dreamers. I am your host Vishvesh, and today we are going to dive into the real story of studying in Canada. Beyond the noise, beyond the negativity. Social media nowadays is flooded with doubts about Canada. But while some are having a lot of confusion, there are many, believe me, who are still globalizing and building their dreams in Canada. And today's guest is one such shining example. Meet Chahat Sarwara, an Indian student who studied at Lakeland College, Alberta, and now is working there only as an international student support coordinator. She has walked the exact same path that many of you are about to start. And nowadays, she helps international students do the same. Today, let's discuss about the life and opportunities available to international students at province like Alberta. I'm honored to welcome our guest today, Ms. Chahat Sarwara, International Student Support Coordinator at Lakeland College, Alberta. She works with international students very closely in helping them settling in the college and in their careers. Chahat, welcome to Global Dreamcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's begin with a bigger picture. Let's talk about Canada. For years and years, Canada has been on the top of the charts when it is about study destinations preferred by Indian students. But the year 2025 has brought a few questions and conversations. What would you like to say about that?
So first of all, as we all know, Canada is the first choice of international students when it comes to moving abroad. And that's because of the welcoming nature, the welcoming environment of Canada, better opportunities, and also that's because of the size of the Canada. The recent changes were made to improve their policies because there were some challenges that were coming in recent times. So I believe that in order to address those issues, government came up with these new policies, and maybe this would be for the betterment, but that certainly do not mean that they would not be, that they are not welcoming international students anymore. It's just that students have to look for the certain approach they have to go into, because government wants to bring people into certain communities where they need the population. They want to promote the programs that are more needed, where the professionals are needed. So it's a different approach, and certainly not that the people are not welcoming all of a sudden or anything like that.
Oh, great. And responding to that point of yours, the size of country and the ratio of size to that of population of that particular country, I would like to shed some light on the size of Canada. If I'm not mistaken, it is 3 times than the size of India.
Yeah.
And the population is probably not as much as it is in Gujarat itself, only one of the states of India, right?
That's right.
And that is why the government is in need of skills and government is in need of people. So yeah, very well said. And then it is about bringing in the appropriate talent, and that is why the refinements are being in place, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So, but then at the same time, how do you look at the support and intent of Canada as a country when it comes to international students and their career progression, or their life as an international student? Yeah.
No, great question. So, when it comes to those aspects, again, we have more aging population in Canada, so we are in need of the young talent, the young professionals who should come in, who should come to Canada and work for the economy, because we need that, right? So in those cases, actually, we would say that there are many programs that government is still supporting. They want international students in those programs, so that because there are the job opportunities, and government is definitely promoting them, and also leading to the immigration opportunities afterwards.
Oh, great. Great to know that. So now let's zoom into Lakeland College. It is not that typical Toronto or Vancouver school, but still it is gaining popularity among Indian students. Why?
For all the right reasons. It's absolutely, as you said, it's not typical Toronto or Vancouver. It's not a big center, those bigger cities, but it has some of the advantages, and many of the advantages that no other center can provide to international students. First of all, the affordability. The houses are affordable. The cost of living is low. There are many job opportunities in these areas, in Vermilion and Lloydminster, where our campuses are.
Okay.
The people are so warm and so welcoming. Our international students, many of them prefer to stay in these locations even after they graduate, even after they get their permanent residence.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that shows that, and actually when I talk to some of our students, and they have mentioned that they don't want to move out because the community is like a family. Because of the smaller community, there's so much sense of belongingness. The people itself, the Canadians, are so welcoming, so warm. They look after each other. So it's a different kind of vibe there.
And what else an international students stepping into a new country or a new culture would need when they have a supportive community?
Exactly.
Oh,
they're
that's
making
great.
the money. The affordability is there.
Oh.
They're getting the education. The people are nice. It's safe. These two communities are so safe. We do not have as much crime as compared to the bigger cities.
Oh.
Everything is in close proximity. So they are spending less time on transportation, on going from one place to another, saving time, enjoying more family time. So it's a win-win.
Oh, great, great. So it is not exaggeration if I say that it is a hidden gem.
It is, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when we talk about a college, why not to speak about the type of programs that it offers to international students and the kind of career progressions that international student can see after doing these programs at Lakeland College?
For sure. So the PGWP-eligible programs at Lakeland College that are very popular amongst international students are agriculture sciences, environmental sciences, early childhood education, and healthcare aid. Now, those four programs are supported by government. We need people in those programs and in those careers. So there are lots of job opportunities for these programs, and which you would know that leads to the immigration opportunities afterwards.
True.
As well, because people, the government, the people, employers like to retain those employers in the
True.
country, those knowledgeable people. So yes.
And students or immigration applications having these kind of qualifications and having work experience of these kind of fields have reasonably smoother way towards their immigration.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Especially in the province of Alberta and government, the governments are supporting these programs. They are actually, doing draws for healthcare aid, for agriculture sciences, for
okay.
environmental sciences.
Okay.
Right.
So they fall into a specific category that is
yes.
preferred by the government,
That's
right?
right. Yes.
Okay. So that's about the programs. Now let's talk about the kind of support that Lakeland College and International Student Support Department, led by you, provide to the international students, and what kind of help, if you can just give an example of or two, that that an exceptional support extended to an international student?
I have many examples that I can give it to you, but we do recognize that it's a overwhelming, decision, and also a change moving from one country to another, where you don't have friends, where you don't have family. So we do recognize that. We acknowledge that it's overwhelming. So we have a wide range of support services, and actually, because our students are, we have a lower percentage of students. That's because, we like to maintain that student body ratio as compared to domestic students. We can provide better support services to our international students. We know them by their names, and we know each and every one personally, and that's the kind of relation that we build. And when I say that, I genuinely mean that we are like a family. So everything from, and we want them to succeed mentally, socially, and physically, not just academically. So we prioritize those services.
Okay.
So everything from peer tutoring to counseling to, even the career support services. And that is not only limited to till the time they graduate, but even after that.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So, when we talk about faculty to student ratio, the lower the ratio is beneficial, and it also has a little, thing that if a student is absent for any reason, the faculty may be
That's right.
able to figure out that, say for example,
Yes.
Vishvesh is absent from the class today, right?
So it has happened where, because of our, the lower and smaller class sizes, so the teachers know students by names, and they can easily tell if a student is missing classes, a few days in a row. And that has happened where our teachers have actually left the classroom, went to the dorms, the residence, because they knew that the student is living in on-campus housing. They went to the room and got the student and asked why he's not attending. So that has happened, and I don't think any other college can do those kind of, provide the services. It's generally like a family that why you're not attending the classes.
Oh, great,
right?
great.
Yeah.
So it is a home away from home for a student, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, when we have talked about the programs and the kind of support that Lakeland College offers to international students, how about the tuition fees for the programs? If you can just give us an idea about, or if you can give the viewers idea about the range of tuition fees that the Lakeland College has
for
this
most
program.
of our programs, the tuition fee is 18,000 per year, and so the tuition deposit is 1,500, but that is included in the tuition fee.
Okay, great. So let us talk about day-to-day life of an international student. People must have heard a lot about the life of an international student at popular destinations, or to say it differently, at the destinations like Toronto or Vancouver. But when it comes to international life of an international student at cities like Vermilion and Alberta as a whole, how do you look at the part-time job opportunities available to international students? Because that is one of the prime aspects. Yeah.
For part-time jobs, students can find jobs in the field of retail, food sector, service sector, in Lloydminster and in Vermilion. So those are the three major sectors where they can find jobs. Vermilion, it might take them a little bit more time because of the smaller community, but still, at the end of the day, they are able to find jobs. So jobs is not an issue there. Talking about housing, again, housing is not an issue with our communities as well because we have a lot of space. And we also offer on-campus residence on both the campuses, and actually it starts for as low as $106 a week. And that is right on campus, a minute or two walk to the classes. And not just the campus, but to the class, right?
Okay.
And it includes all the utilities, laundry, and also students will have an opportunity to connect with domestic students, and they can learn the culture better. And that is why they're going for, right?
True.
They want that exposure, so that they can only get if they are studying or, living with domestic students.
The cherry on top can be you can network with the on-campus staff.
Exactly.
Right.
And includes laundry as well. And they save on transportation because they're living on campus.
That's the biggest saving. Yeah,
right?
that's the biggest saving.
Yes.
Because when calculating the cost of living, a typical cost of living for any international student at any destination, the transportation is
Plays a
the
big
major
role.
portion of the
Yes.
cost of living, right?
That's right.
So tell us more about life in Alberta. I mean, as an outsider, how would you explain the life in Alberta?
Okay, I was an international student too,
Oh,
and that was many years ago, and I studied at Lakeland.
oh, so
And
you are a Lakeland alumni.
I am, and I've
Oh,
been working at Lakeland at this position in the international department for 11 years.
oh,
So, as an alumni, I can attest to that life in Canada and especially in Alberta is great. I am loving it. The weather is perfect. I know some students get intimidated by the cold season, but winter can be so much fun. And we prepare students to, and we tell them and show them the ways they can enjoy winter.
oh,
So the life is very nice. Actually, it's quiet. Students will have that spare time. They're not spending much of the time traveling or working because of the affordability, especially in these communities where we are located, right? So it's a perfect location for students, particularly.
okay. So I would call it a perfect package for students, having the part-time job opportunities in the sectors where majority of the international students are found doing their part-time jobs, with a lower cost of living or negligible cost of transportation, with welcoming community and whatnot.
Yes.
And what better can be than listening to it from the student who has been there in herself,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so let's shift gears and talk directly to the students and their families. Since you have been an international student yourself, what are a few challenges that an international student face when he or she lands in Canada, and how would you advise them to be prepared to overcome them?
So the first and foremost is, and that's not particularly when they land in Canada, but when they start their program.
Okay.
Sometimes we've noticed that students do not find that the program they have chosen is a perfect fit for them.
Oh.
And that's because they might have been under the influence of others, right? So I always advise students that when they come to Canada, when they are choosing an institution, the first thing that they have to do is find a program fit. Make sure research about the program that you're going for and see if there are opportunities for jobs, immigration, whatever your goals are, if that program is leading to your goals, right? So first is that. Second one is check for public institutions, check for the reputation of the institution and the communities, because that plays a big role as well. It's not just the education, but extra life as well,
True.
right? So that. And then affordability, of course, because international students pay a lot more money than domestic students.
True.
So affordability is a big piece. And then obviously jobs. So those things are very important when considering about which place to go, which center to go.
Okay. And any piece of advice that you would like to give to the parents who are planning to send their children to Canada, especially to the locations like Alberta that does not have cities as big as Toronto or Vancouver. So any piece of advice that you would like to give to the parents of the children?
Yes.
Yeah, and I would appreciate if you can keep it to the daily life and challenges that can be faced by a student when it is about going to any international destination. People talk a lot about cultural shocks, homesickness, and whatnot. And for all the parents planning to or have thought of sending their children to Alberta, that does not have cities as big as Toronto or Vancouver, what would you give to them as a piece of advice, and what would you say on the daily life challenges that students are perceived to be facing in Canada, but in actual they do not, right?
So my piece of advice would be, and this is very personal.
Yeah.
I would say that please stay away from those bigger centers, because the student is starting their journey. It is very important to start from places where they have the chance to shine and not just be a face in the crowd.
Oh,
There are better opportunities there.
Very well put.
So that is the advice that my parents gave to me when I was wanting to go to a bigger center. But I think that changed my life, and I always suggest parents to contact the experts like yourself. Get the expert advice. Do not just go based on hearing people, because you would know better which communities are supported by government, which is a safe community. So the smaller communities are actually safer. Students are not under pressure to just earn because they are going for study. So we do want them to study as well. So where the life is easy, so that the students can focus on their studies more. They can enjoy the journey, because that is very important. It's a growing age, so you want to enjoy as much. So those things are important. See what kind of supports are available to their kids, and also with our community specifically. We have that international diversity. We have, Indian community. We celebrate all the festivals, Diwali, and we had a few parties even last year just for Diwali. So Navratri is celebrated. So we do have all those festivals and enjoy them. So I think pick communities like these where you still have that Indian, aspect, the Indian culture, but again, that is not overpowering, because students at the end of the day is still going to Canada for that global exposure. So choosing these communities, these kind of communities is very important.
Okay. So Chahat, before we wrap up, let us have a small round of rapid fire.
Okay.
Oh, great. Okay. So, favorite Canadian city?
Banff, any day.
Community in Alberta?
Lloydminster.
Okay. Favorite Canadian food?
It's not Canadian, it's pasta.
Oh, okay. One thing that you miss a lot about India?
Shopping. I like ethnic clothes, so I miss those.
Oh. Advice in one word to international students heading to Canada?
Have fun. It's 2 words.
Okay. Snow or sun?
Snow. I like snow.
Okay. Urban Canada or rural Canada?
Rural.
People of Alberta?
Warm and welcoming.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chahat, for being with us today. I am sure the information that you shared must have been very insightful for students and parents who are planning for their children's study in Canada. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.